So, Greatest Days is a film musical based on a stage musical based on the music of Take That. So, on paper, it should be really good. But what did I think of it? Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews just like this one here at the weekend. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free, and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above. So yes, I was very interested in seeing this one, especially because Aisling Bea is connected to it, and I find her really funny in everything that she's in, and I was interested to see what she would be like in a musical. Now, I haven't seen Days, the musical. It's not something that's ever particularly been like, oh, I must rush to go and see that ahead of other things. But it's not something where I'd be like, oh, if you bought me tickets to it, I'd be like, oh no, I don't want to see that. So I'm not, wasn't the sort of biggest Take That fan, but I still appreciate their music, and so it's definitely something that I was interested in. When I saw the trailer, it looked uplifting, and essentially it's a bit like Mamma Mia, isn't it? Mamma Mia, the stage musical, is based on the music of ABBA, but was then made into two very successful films based on those stage musicals. Sorry, there's my washing machine in the background. So yeah, based on those stage musicals. And so I was like, right, okay. So it follows five friends who are, obsessed with the boys who sing Take That songs. And we see them in Clitheroe, which I thought was very interesting as well. The fact that it was Clitheroe, it's not the most glamorous of places. And we sort of follow them through their obsession and through them kind of coming of age a little bit. We only see a glimpse of them as teenagers, but we see flashes of them back to when they were teenagers, and then we get to meet them as adults. So if you've seen the trailer, you see them fairly kind of soon as adults, whereas in the film you have to wait a little bit longer. Now, this one, you could kind of see where the directions for sort of the stage musical came in, because there were some not awkward but some kind of pausey bits or transitiony bits where on the stage it would have really worked, but obviously in a film things have to be a bit snappier, and so they kind of left those pauses slash transitions in, and I was like, you almost notice them because they're too long. If they were smoother or less snappy, more film like, less stage showy like, I think you wouldn't notice them. So that's kind of the thing that stood out for me, as kind of what I remember, is the fact that there was these strange pauses in scenes, and yet other bits were so fast you wanted to see a little bit more detail in a big musical number, which was a whole like ensemble thing. You were like, oh, hang on, let me see that person there and see if they fit into something. So it's a bit like, again, when you watch Mamma Mia, you're not expecting to see ABBA, but as we know in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, we have a couple of cameos, and so you're kind of expecting a cameo, and we do get a Take That cameo in this one, which is no surprise. They're in the cast list, and so that's interesting. But there is a certain amount of tragedy in the film as well, which again you kind of know from the trailer going into it. It's quite obvious that there were five friends in the beginning and there's only four in the actual adult side, and so you're like, right, well, something's obviously happened here. Is it like a friendship breakdown? So you're kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop in that sense as well. And you actually have to wait a long time in the film for this to happen. It's very much like, it's not an end of act one thing. It's a culmination of the film type of thing. And so I thought that was really interesting. And then, yeah, I was just really interested by the settings. So we get a little bit of it set in London. We see Aisling Bea character sort of cycling along the Thames, and then we get the main younger version of them set in Clitheroe, which was really interesting, but taking a little trip out to Manchester. And then we have a bit of it set in Italy, And then we have a load of it set in Greece as well. No, not Greece. Yes, yeah, Greece. Greece as well. Sorry, I'm getting it mixed up with another film. So yeah, in Athens, which was again an interesting choice, and I'm not sure, having not seen the stage show, if the stage show follows the same sort of setting directions as well. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting. Now, when we see the film, the adults in their, like, come all together again, a few of them have sort of not become, but are members of sort of marginalised groups, which would be stereotyped and judged. And I was like, well, this film's, all about these women following their dreams and, singing the songs of the boys, and it's very open-minded. But, one of them has put on quite a lot of weight, and there's like fat jokes in there, and one of them has sort of turned her back on a career in academia to become a mother, and there's jokes about that in there, and then there's jokes about being gay, and I was just like, that's like quite uncomfortably with me. I didn't think that this film would do that. I think especially having so many kind of open-minded people attached to it, I thought it was some interesting writing. And I know obviously if it then follows the stage show, it's not the writing of the film's fault, but it just didn't sit that well with me. So yes, the music is feel good. Any musical for me is going to be a feel good experience. I like those big ensemble numbers. I like when we get to an uplifting moment and it's an uplifting song and everybody joins in. I like when those, more tragic moments dealing with more serious issues are like, slowing down and solo numbers and things like that. Yes, I like that. Obviously, the music's going to be good. It's going to be stuff that you're familiar with. People in the audience were enjoying it. But yeah, there was some odd pauses and some odd choices of writing in terms of, taking the mick out of marginalised groups and kind of not being happy for women who've made choices and are quite happy with their choices. And so that didn't sit well with me. Obviously, being a musical, it is something that benefits from being seen on the big screen. We know that. We like having the sound. We like having the big numbers on the big screen. But should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this one? I'm going to say no. I think there are definitely better things that you could watch right now in the cinema. I think if that kind of film is your kind of thing, again, there are other things that kind of cover that in the cinema at the minute. I think it's one to wait and watch at home, and come back and let me know your opinions on the way, the choices that the adult women have made are handled in this film, because I think that is really interesting, and I would really like to know your thoughts and comments on that. So as always, if there is a particular movie you would like me to go and watch next week and bring my thoughts back to you here, do let me know in comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell, so I've got all sorts of bookish content coming for you very soon, and lots of summer blockbuster movie reviews coming your way as well, so you're not going to want to miss that. But that being said, I will see you with my next video. Thanks for watching.